Hi everybody and welcome to the Flute Practice. Today we are diving in for just a little quick topic that I really hope is going to kind of invite a whole bunch of discussion and kind of comments below, because that's really what I want us to do, is share ideas and really help each other through this. And that is the old problem of having a dry mouth when you're busy performing. We all know the situation so well. You're getting ready to play and you want to kind of create a sound and you're like, because it's just so dry, you can't actually create the sound you want to. I'm going to share with you guys some of the top tips that I've picked up over the years, and I'm hoping that I'm going to learn some more from you guys down below. The first one that I kind of came in contact with was thinking of a lemon, like thinking about having or eating a lemon in your mouth, like really imagining it and visualizing it. The idea being that as you imagine this thing, it kind of like stimulates this, salivary glands to release saliva, and then, it helps. But to be honest with you, maybe it's just because my imagination is not that great, but I have not found that to be very helpful. And usually in a concert, you're stressed already. You don't really want to be trying to now stress about imagining eating, a lemon and then being like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Why? So a little kind of follow on tip from that that I saw was to take the lemon juice and to drop little drops of lemon onto your hand. And I had a concert once where friends of mine were putting drops of glycerin onto their hand, same thing. And the idea is that when you're really dry, that you just kind of lick it, and get it into your mouth. I think the problem with that being it could be really awkward. You're, playing a concert, you're in your nice ball gown and whatnot. And then the next minute you're licking yourself like a dog. Could be a little bit awkward. Personally, I have not tried that. Well, I might have actually. I think what happened, I put the drops of glycerin on my hand and then I just forgot to lick it, because it is a little bit perhaps not very practical, but could be a cool idea. If any of you have tried this, let us know. There are those that advocate eating certain things before you play, or drinking some sweet tea, anything that will get your salivary glands glowing. Don't get them glowing, that's weird. Could be cool. Don't do that. But there is a lot of truth to this, of course, because if we eat and we drink, there is going to be saliva production, and this may help. However, when I'm playing a concert, I find it a very bad idea to eat a heavy meal before I play. I find I get nauseous, and often I know this is really gross, but you end up burping the whole time through the concert, which is just disgusting. So I don't recommend that necessarily. I like to eat 2 hours before I perform. And I definitely do think this helps kind of keep the condition in my mouth more stable. So that I do recommend. But right before you perform, maybe to drink something would be helpful. I don't know. I don't love the idea of having sugary breath through my flute. But if any of you have any tips on that front, maybe put those down below as well. I was kind of plowing through the internet a little bit to see what other people suggested. And one of the interesting things that I saw was putting chapstick on the inside of your lips. Like that. Honestly, I have no idea if that's going to help, but it could be an interesting solution to your problem. So perhaps go and try that out. I might try it out, although I'm going to kind of get to the end of this video why I think I don't have such big problems with this anymore. And, my solution basically to the problem. When I was really struggling with this, one of my bigger, better, more helpful solutions was to bite down on the tongue. Like that during performance. So it's quick, it's easy, it's nothing you have to focus on or try and hide or be discreet about, but just to give kind of a little bite on your tongue. I've seen other people mention kind of folding the tongue over and pushing on it, or pressing against the top of the mouth, or biting on the cheeks even. All those things. Basically the idea is through the movement you're kind of stimulating the salivary glands to release some saliva, which is what we need. So that I definitely do think is probably the most immediately practical tip, and honestly I think probably my most helpful personally. Maybe I will learn some other things, as I said, but I think what really helped me in the end of the day was kind of getting to the bottom of the problem, which is the fact that when you're nervous, it's really your body's kind of fight response or flight response, but it's basically your body's nervous reaction. In your body's kind of worldview, it's I'm about to go and I don't know, fight a huge army of people, and all this adrenaline is helping me do that. So we need to deal with that, really. If we can deal with some of the adrenaline, some of the nerves, some of the all of that, usually that symptom, which is just a symptom of the problem, kind of fixes itself. Now, this being said, I don't think that we should like be panicked about, oh no, I have a dry mouth, I'm clearly not dealing. That's not it at all. I think it's a process and we build it up over time. And what I have done for you guys, I made a video on performance anxiety and all of that, and my suggestions of that. I'm probably going to be doing more about this in future. I've had some requests. So I'm going to be updating this and kind of talking more through my own journey and process. But I'm going to link you guys to that video to go and explore that. I think when we get more confident and comfortable on stage and with performance, usually these symptoms, shaking hands, sweating hands, and dry mouth, tend to kind of fix themselves. It definitely did for me. I can't say that there was any one of those previous tips that solved the problem. It just kind of eventually went away by itself. Like sometimes I guess I probably still get a bit drier or whatever, but it doesn't really bother me anymore and I don't notice it as much. So part of that is just to say it's like a patience thing. You have to kind of like go through the process of becoming more comfortable. It's taken me, honestly about 16 years of playing the flute to be where I am right now. And I'll probably say the same thing in another 5 years' time. Like it could be, 16 plus 5? 21 years? That's so scary. Oh, I feel like that's like more than half my life playing the flute. Okay, guys. Happy practicing, everybody, and see you next time.